Hello, beloved cast of Evita. Kate here, and Jack, who's going to be my supermodel today. We're going to show you just some general makeup tips, things that I've learned over the years. As you've heard me say over and over, I have not been trained in most of this stuff. It's just things that I've learned or researched or just kind of been able to learn through working with all of you. So, as always, thanks to Kurt for believing in me and telling me to do theater, and thanks to Alicia for somehow seeing that I could do these things even when I never had before. So here's just some things that I'm going to show you, and this is going to help you guys be able to do some of this makeup on your own. There are lots of makeup supplies that I have brought, and I'll be referencing certain things that you're going to be able to find there, or just this is all just stuff that you can get at Walgreens, Walmart, wherever. So easy peasy, and everyone is able to help each other out, and it's just been really fantastic. So hopefully this will help too. As you can see, Jack and I are clean-faced and not looking fantastic right now. One of the best things as far as this process is understanding that no step in it is going to mean you're done until you're done. And once it all comes together, it's going to look good. So as we're going, there's parts where I want it to look bad, okay? And then we're going to just keep adding layers until it's awesome. So please remember that as we go. You guys have been so good for me in showing up to places now with no makeup, making videos for you with no makeup, and still knowing that I'm loved and accepted. So that part is in place. Thank you all for all of that. Now I'll just show you some tips about how to make your eyebrows look good on stage. This is my gift back to you. So one of the first things you want to start with is a clean face. If you have, this is a makeup primer. Wait, shouldn't I? I'm going to be cool, Instagram. A little makeup primer, right? So Jack, I'm going to give you some of this. Stick it on. Ready? Nope, your fingers. Thank you. All right, so take it and you're going to just kind of dab, 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 and then rub it in. Blend, blend, blend. Blend until we die. This is what makeup is all about, right? You're doing good. I love Jack's hair. Do you? Oh, he's grooving to something else. Yep. All right, so once that's on, it doesn't have to be a primer. It can be a lotion or a cream, or, you know, there's some Pond's cold cream there, like whatever. This just kind of is going to help things smooth over better. So just like if you're doing painting and you do a primer first, that's all this is. So cool stuff. We're set there. Next thing is we're going to get a foundation. At the theater, there's pancake makeup there, which is going to look similar to something like this. This isn't actually it. And some sponges that are really good. Keep your sponge. That is your sponge, okay? It's going to have your face on it. You can wash it as you need to, but make sure that your sponge stays your sponge until the end of the show. So for now, because we're just here at home, and this is my preferred method anyway, we're just going to use our fingers. So here's my foundation. Ready, Jack? I'll do this to Jack so you can see. You're so fabulous, darling. All right, so I just put some in my hands, and now I'm moving it all around his face. And now, once I kind of have it all over, now I'm going to blend, blend, blend. Blending all the way up into the hairline. Just kind of seeing, making sure you can see me doing this. Into the crevices, like around the nose and into some of the little corners of the eyes, and literally I'm blending right into his eyebrows, okay? Don't worry about it, we're not done yet. Behind the ears, into the jawline, and down into the neck. There's not a certain point we're gonna end, it's just gonna blend. Oh my gosh, that rhymed. Okay, look this way a little bit more. Thank you. Jack is sporting my mother's headband here. He looks fabulous. Takes a village. All right, so now we can see Jack just has like new skin that is more of a consistent shade. So we have step one accomplished. Are you singing along to your music? You're gonna confuse people. Put the cap on so I don't spill it. Bless you. We're all fighting little bits of colds right now, aren't we? So next I'm taking our powder. There's a bunch of these that are on that in the makeup supplies that I've brought up in the green room. And again, you can buy this anywhere. My favorite is CoverGirl loose powder, but you can use anything. What I'm using here is slightly darker than his skin tone, which is something that's important for theater makeup, because those beautiful lights that Greg has been designing and Frank is shining on us, they're going to take away some of what our skin can naturally handle on its own. So that's all we're doing. We're just adding to what's already there. So now that we've got Jack's face first primed and then wet, we're going to basically, it's like we're drying and setting it with this powder. This part gets messy. This is why I asked Jack to put on a shirt that he doesn't care too much about, but we're still repping De Pere, you can tell. And why you see me in a bathrobe like all the time. So do not do this in your costumes unless you're covered up. There is a navy blue bathrobe that's upstairs in the green room. You can grab that anytime you need to do powder. I've got a bunch, or just like, you know, anything. But you want to be sure that it covers both your top, like shoulders, and then all the way down to your knees, because the powder is going to fall, as you're about to see. So I'm going to take the powder, and this is like loaded up, right? And I'm just going to kind of, again, pat it around his face. We don't want to rub it too much because that's going to take off the powder, or I'm sorry, it's going to take off the foundation that we just put on. So first we're getting it on, making sure it's all over. Turn this way on. Thank you. And then I'm just kind of tapping it into his face. What we're doing is we're basically giving ourselves new skin at this point, okay? So the liquid helps it smooth on, the powder helps it stay on. Kind of like if you've ever made a gravy or something like that. I know, right? Yeah, you cook out the oils and things from the meat, and then you set it with the powder, which is flour, and now you make this new thing. I know, you're learning so much from me right now. This is like life skills and makeup. So just making sure that we really get this on there. At the end of this step, you should look fake. You should not look good. All we're doing so far is we're getting new skin for the stage. This is part of transforming into whatever character we're about to become. So Jack's face now is very like dry looking. It's very velvety, okay? But it also, we have taken away everything that that makes him look alive and human. So now it's time to add that back in. So with makeup, we're kind of working in reverse, right? Before we had skin with blood underneath. Now we made new skin. Now we're going to put the blood back into his face with blush, okay? So blush, a lot of people have been taught to do blush all the way up to here. Unless you are running a marathon, your face shouldn't be red all this far around. We don't want that, okay? Part of what is makeup from the 1940s is what's called the tri-point method. Well, a lot of what I'm going to show you is about the angles, where to start and where to stop your makeup, because all our faces look different, but you need to know these tips in order to do makeup on yourself. So for everyone. So here's me helping everyone put their makeup on all at once, okay? Tri-points on me, it's going to be like right here where my nose is starting. It's going to be up here where my eye ends, and it's going to be here where my lips start, okay? So we've got here, here, and here. This is where the face naturally flushes, okay? On Jack, we're going to go here, here, and here, okay? So very light. I like you working with powder for makeup because you can layer it so easily, and it's easy to do not enough and add. It is impossible to take away a cream foundation once you've put too much on, or any kind of makeup, really. So with powder and with a brush, I am doing one tap. Boom, that's it. That's literally all I want to start with. So I'm going to start it kind of here by that corner of the nose. I'm going to go up to that cheek, or the eye place. Here, they can't see you, honey. There we go. And then down to here. Okay, so like bop, bop, bop. And then I'm just going to blend, keeping within like that triangle that we just made. Now, Jack looks not only like he has perfect skin, but like he's an alive human who has blood under the skin. Okay, so one tap again, and here we go on the other side. Nose, eye, lip, and now we're just going to kind of blend it into that triangle. Blend, 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 blend till you die. That is makeup. This is going to take me a while to show you. And when you're not having to explain it, you can whip this kind of stuff out. I can do a full face of makeup like this in 10 minutes tops, okay? So this is just practice. That's why it takes long. Once you know it, it's going to be easier and easier every time you do it. Okay, now, because we're talking about theater makeup, and again, all those gorgeous lights, I'm going to do this maybe a couple times until I can see, like, okay, this might be good for the street. It's not good for the theater. So a little bit more, exactly the same kind of thing. One tap, adding, blending. One tap, adding, blending. if you have questions for me, or you can ask each other, especially for some of the people who have been on the stage a lot, is this enough color? And they'll be able to help you see, is it enough color? But I can see already on Jack, on this like janky camera recording, that he looks like he's alive again, right? So hey, great skin and way to be alive. It's exciting. It's a great day. What I'm going to do next is I am moving on to what I would call like a not shiny highlighter. Okay, highlighter and contouring is going to give us, basically, it's just lights and shadows of the face that naturally happen as we have facial features. We don't all love our facial features, right? Or we've been told that they should be a certain way. But if you think of it, your nose should stick out and not like sink into your face. It's that kind of stuff. So don't worry about it. But what we're going to do here is with our light cream powder, and I'm just using like a smaller brush to kind of do this. I'm going to define those areas here on the new skin that we just gave to Jack. Part we want to stick out is things that stick out. So cheekbone, on top of the cheekbone, brow bone, under the eyebrow. I'm going to make a real kind of C shape, sort of like the Green Bay Packers G kind of, right? So we're going to come through here, under the brow bone, over the cheekbone. So there's my little like curvy, same thing on the other side, under the brow bone, over the cheekbone. This is not blended in well. This looks bad at this stage, this step, right? That's okay. We're not done yet. I'm not sending him on stage looking like this. Now, the nose, it should stick out, right? So we're going to put some there, just right in the center on that tip, not to the sides. We got stuff for those too, but that's not going to be this. So right along the tip, and then just here in between the eyebrows to kind of open up that area, okay? Next thing we're going to do is like in here. I have a weak jaw. This is something that I do. Jack has this beautiful chiseled jaw, right? I'm going to show you anyway just on him, but I do this on myself. I put light here and here to try to make those points seem more angled, like they stick out. We're showing the light where to go instead of it deciding for us. So on Jack, who doesn't need it, putting a little into the corners of the jawline. I know, you're so fabulous, aren't you? Feeling good, looking good. That's really what it's about, right, guys? If you don't feel good, you're not going to look your best. If you feel your best, you'll be surprised at how good you actually look. So now that we have highlighter on those places, we're going to do contouring with a darker powder. So just to sort of let you see next to each other, there's no like hard and fast rules about this. We all have different tones of our skin. So what is light on me isn't going to be light on Sky, right? And what looks good on her is not going to look good on me. So just to give you some examples, this is how apart I'm talking about in terms of colors of highlighter and contouring. You guys know I'm awesome at light, right and left and upstage, downstage, whatever. So bear with me while I learn simple things like right and left or what I'm holding in which hand. Okay, so with this, I now see, I'm not a great teacher. I'm taking a brush that's like kind of the same size or so of like a brush blush. So like a medium sized brush. And again, tapping, I don't rub. That gives me more than I want to deal with on a brush. So tap, tap. We're going to take this and we're going to put it in places that a shadow would be. So basically, that's going to be under or next to wherever we just highlighted, okay? So because of Jack's amazing cheekbones, then this part in his temples wouldn't look as dark or wouldn't look as light. We're going to make that look darker. That's going to help those cheekbones pop out. Tap it on. The color's way too dark. Keep blending. Now we have a shadow instead of color. Same thing under the cheekbone. I'm going to go kind of right in here from where the hole of his ear starts, and I'm going to pull it in, but only to about here, right? I don't want it coming in here where the blush is. We're just making a shadow, and then we're going to pull it down. That defines that section of the face. So starting in here, I'm doing this kind of really dark so that you can see it, in and then into that hollow of the cheek. But I want it all the way up into the ear and the hairline because then it looks like it came from your skull and not from a brush. Same thing under the ear to get that jaw chiseled out, which Jack really does not need. gorgeous model that he is here. And I'm going to pull it down on myself. You see this? Love it. I do a lot of that in here. Oh, it's fun to talk while I tap at my throat. Bless you. And now that is not as noticeable even on me. I didn't really do anything. I just told light where not to go. Okay. So you can see on Jack, if you look at this side of his face, where those shadows kind of naturally are for him as opposed to over here. And now you can see the difference. This side of his face looks far more chiseled and blended. This side, you can see where I put the blush. So we add and add and add, and all those layers work together, kind of like an ensemble, right? The last thing that you want to do with contouring, obviously you do this on both sides of the face, but you want to define the nose. So again, we put our light here, which means we're going to need a shadow here and here because this part is sticking out so much, right? I'm going to take it and I'm going to start here, laying the brush flat so that the powder, the bristle, like where the color actually is, only can go onto my nose. All right, so it's like this. Now it can only go there. That's going to prevent the shadow from coming again into that blushed part that we just did. So there, and then the angle that I'm going to use is up and out, like that. I will not come over this part in the center of the nose because we just fixed that, right? And now, well, I have a deviated septum and I really worked this side, but I'll show you on Jack. Okay, so same thing, laying it there, getting the brush there, up and in, and then coming out without touching this center part again. The last thing that you want to do when you have this is you kind of want to blend it without adding any new color to your brush. We're just blending what we've already put on. Last thing, and this is kind of optional for people, but for me, I like to use then a shimmery highlighter. And I have a different brush for that just because I don't want my highlighter and my contour to be mixing together. If you're using the same brush for something, that's totally fine. Just take like the inside of your arm, rub it on there, and then you'll see what was on the brush, and now you can clean it for a new thing. If you were going to wash your brush each time or even wipe it on a wipe, your brush would become wet and then too much powder is going to stick to it next. So cleaning it by just rubbing it off on a part of your body that you can clean later helps you get a better application on your face. So I'm going to, again, just tapping those brush bristles into a highlighter that has a shimmer in it, and that's going to blend these places that we just did. It's going to show us, gives some extra light being able to reflect off of what we said was a high point on the face. And then I also am taking it and kind of blending some of those shadows that we just did. And it all comes together. Again, once you have this in your head or you're just looking at the makeup plots that I've been posting around, this comes real easy. Oh, it goes here, here, here. Okay, but next brush. But okay, it's fine. It just seems long right now because I'm explaining it. So Jack now has new skin, new perfect skin. He's got blood in his skin. Yay! We like being alive. Then we have the light from his, fancy, like the way his bone structure is so perfect. And then shadows that have obviously fallen, because of his perfect bone structure. So look at my pretty baby. It's all good. Just like how we use the powder to set the cream, we now want to set the powder with a spray. So this is just setting spray. I have a couple of these up in the green room as well. Once the powder part of your face is finished, you're going to basically make it wet so that it can all kind of layer itself in together. I'm going to give Jack just a tiny bit of warning, and then I'm going to spray all the way around his face in a circle, making sure that the whole powder is set in. Okay, so ready? Here we go. I need a little bit more. Okay, right now it looks a little weird because his face is wet. It's gonna dry and it's gonna look perfect, and his makeup is gonna stay. See, look at up close. You look so good, baby. Yay! All right. So for the men, basically this is what you need. Women, we're gonna have some stuff with eyeshadow and whatever. We'll deal with that in another video. Right now, though, From here on out, what I'm doing is basically speaking to when you are playing a role that does not require you to have a lot of other pretty makeup. So for our dudes, this show, lips for it are either going to be like that bright, or not bright, but like a red color for the women in the 40s. Otherwise, men, would have natural color lips. So, Jack, I'm going to have you first take this wipe and clean any makeup off your lips that we just inadvertently put on. So just, kind of be careful you're not getting any of the skin around the lips. Just making sure that your lips themselves are clean. Wow, you're eating that. And now we're just going to put on a little chapstick, whatever you have. Okay, because that's going to make the skin have something that it can shine through, instead of, if our skin is dry, including the skin on our lips, then light is going to fall on it instead of shine through it. So get some chapstick on there. We don't want you to be shiny though, so just tap it in. Like, there you go. Okay, so now we're not shiny. We don't look like we have lip gloss on. We just have healthy lips that are able to be seen. Shine, yes, magic. Following up then, for eyes, for people who are not having like defined makeup look face. So not to be, gender stereotypical, but typically for your male performer, I know I'm trying. For a male performer or a male role that you're playing, what you really just need to do is continue to define the eyebrows and the eyelids, like at this point. So Jack, for the next few minutes, is still blonde. We're about to color his hair dark. So with that, he has some very wonderful but light eyebrows that are not going to match dark hair, either if he had a wig or with the dark that we're about to dye his hair. That's why I thought this would be good to show you before we dye his hair. So that's what he's got. I have a bunch of these at the theater. There's a bunch upstairs. I even have a couple downstairs. This is what is my absolute favorite. One side is a liner. Sorry, I'm not a... There we go. I've watched Instagram. Okay, so one side is a liner. Don't worry about that side. The part that we're going to use is this other end with the rounded part, and it twists off, and in the cap is shadow, and the rest of it, again, sorry, there, I'm learning, is like a sponge applicator. So this is like makeup that you open it and it makes it ready to go. So the powder is automatically loaded on here. Jack, I want you to look up at the sky, and I'm going to put some on his lower lash line here to help define it. Now, this is tricky when you're doing it on someone else, so let me show you up close what I'm doing. I am taking this, and there's points again on the face that you can use to define where it's going to go on you. So kind of like from where the brown part on me, because I have brown eyes, where that starts, if I'm looking straight ahead in the mirror, that's where I'm going to start, and I'm just going to go to where the bottom lashes naturally end. So twist it out, good to go, starting right about there, right, and pulling it along where the eyelashes are to where they end. That's all. So that's what I did. That's what you can see here on Jack. For the top part, same kind of thing. We just want to give where the lashes are. We just want to make that look fuller because it's going to define the eye. I'll show you up close on me. I'm starting again from where the lashes naturally end to right about that same point, based on the colored part of my eye. And I'm just going to gently rub it as close to that lash line as I can. And now, without looking like I have makeup on, I've defined that eye. Like, see it compared to this one? Let's see it on Jack. All right, Jack, so close your eyes, but I want you to do it really gently. I call this sleepy eye, as if you were looking down at the floor, because if you're going to scrunch up, now I can't get the makeup where it needs to go, and you're going to have makeup in places that will look like makeup and not like real. So, sleepy eye, starting from right about that same point, going along to where the lashes end, and just gently creating a shadow with eyeshadow. I know, crazy. things were named so well. So there we go. Open up, Jack. Perfect. Okay, open up for real. Hi. There we go. See, you can see how that eye is more defined than that one. And you're going to see his facial expressions and all of the beautiful nonverbal ways that he can speak on stage under all of the lights. Makeup doesn't make you look good. It just helps show how good you already look. Okay, so we've got this eye well defined. You can definitely see that as compared to this one. I rubbed it on in those places. This was my guide. The hair's where I stop. Top, bottom, close as I can to where the hair is actually growing out of, and we're good to go. The only other thing I did was that I just took my finger and just smoothed that line a little bit. Again, blend till you die, right? I've been saying it the whole time. Do you ever listen to me? Here we go. So into the eyebrows. Points for doing eyebrow application that are important is going to be here, like the very inner corner of the eye. Follow that line up. That's where we want it to start. I grew up in the 90s. I have overplucked my eyebrows and I will never be able to recover from this. So from here up, that's where my eyebrows should be starting, okay? We're going to take that line and we're going to pull it out until where we can see that a curve kind of starts naturally. That's just your body's, the brow bone as it goes and makes a circle for your eye hole, right? Your face already is your makeup plot. So you're going to start there. You're going to pull it then. Boy, how do I show this? Okay. See, like this part of your hairline, that's where that's our other angle. Okay. So start here. And now think about, gosh, I can't do this backwards. I'm so sorry. Think about pulling that up to here, okay? There to there, that's going to be our first line. I'm going to show this to you in a way, over-exaggerated way on my own face with a liquid liner. Don't use a liner. This is only for illustrative purposes, okay? So starting there and going up, right there, and then I'm going to pull it that line to there, right? But I'm going to stop at where that curve is. Now I'm going to take that line and I'm going to pull it to here where that part of my hair stops above the ear. Okay, that's your next. This is a terrible illustration on myself backwards in a computer screen. Let me show you a check. Maybe we should delete that part. See, now I'm blushing everywhere. We don't want that. We don't want you to look embarrassed, just alive. Okay, so coming up from the center of Jack's eye, that's where we're going to start. So I'm going to fill in this part here on him. Now I'm going to take from there and create an imaginary line in my head from there to here, but I'm going to stop right here where you can see that his brow, the direction of it changes. But that's my guide. That's my next line. Okay. Then from there, my next line guide is to here. To there. Okay, so from there, I'm going to bring it to there. I'm not going to draw it all the way to here. I'm going to stop where the hair naturally stops because that's where an eyebrow ends. Okay, so you can see now I've got that shape in place for him. No matter who you are, what character you're playing, that is how eyebrows should be shaped. How thick you go with it, how dark you go, that can depend on your character that you're playing. But everybody can use that method for whatever kind of brow things you need to do. I'm going way darker on Jack to help my little blonde child look like he has dark Argentinian hair. So this is going to be over-exaggerated on him. If you are either coloring your hair to an unnatural for you color or you're wearing a wig that is an unnatural for you color, this is how we're going to fool them into not seeing your wig and just accepting your character's look. One of the best compliments I ever got was from Kurt, who told me that he's so sorry he didn't even notice the hair and the makeup in Into the Woods. And I was like, oh, that's the best compliment I could have gotten. I don't want people to notice your makeup. I don't want people to notice your wigs. I just want them to see you and believe you as your character. That's my job. So following these lines means that we can do makeup on any person for any role and we'll just tweak color and size based on what those are. So for this show, our color is dark. So there we go. So look at Jack. There we are. Oh, sorry. Okay. Well, anyway, look at Jack over there. That's our look. That looks, very natural and normal, but on stage you're going to lose his incredible facial expressions. There, he's defined. Make a weirdo face at us. Yeah, right? You went to look right here for it. So that's cool. That's our goal. And basically, the only other thing that we have to do after this is going to be with mascara. Again, if you either use the men's restroom or are playing a character who would use a men's restroom, gender is a spectrum, I want you to use, there we go. I want you to use brown, not black. Brown. Brown, brown, brown. Men tend to get real pretty real fast when they're using black eyeliner or mascara. This is far more natural for an overall look. Now we just put powder in his eyebrows. I don't want it to look like he has powder in his eyebrows. I want that to look like hair. So the final thing we're going to do is we're going to take this mascara and we're going to brush it into the hair, right? Oh, remember my janky line there? I'm just showing you on my face, but he's the real goal. Okay, and now you're going to see hair again instead of makeup. So that's really important. So I'm just going to brush this into the hairs on his face. This is how you can make facial hair darker of any kind. Beard, mustache, eyebrows. Going gently, going lightly, but being bold so that it shows on stage. Look at that. He is not blonde anymore. And then finally, just a tiny bit on the eyelashes. You just have to hold it close and then blink, 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 and it's going to just naturally brush itself into the lashes, and that's good. And then on the bottom, again, please don't take it all the way into here. Please don't take it out to there. Just extend the darker portion of the eye, that's where we tell our story, and highlight that, make it bigger by only putting your darker mascara right there in that center portion. I'm already looking great. Look at me. All right, but now let's look at Jack. So bringing it in here, and Jack, I want you to open up and blink, blink, blink. There you go. Some of it is getting on other parts of his face. Whatever, it's fine. No one's looking at us that up close. Now, look way up at the sky, and I'm going to do this. Okay, wait. Just with your eyeballs, look up at the sky. There we go. I'm just going to put it right there in that center part. And now look. Can you get really close up so that they can see? You look just fantastic. See? And it was really actually easy. If I wasn't jabbering the whole time, it would take way less time. And you like it, don't you? Do you feel good? Do you feel handsome? You do. I can tell. And I think it's awesome. All right. So there you go. That's just general makeup. I'm going to do another portion of this video that's going to show lips and some eyeliner and eyeshadow for any of the female characters that are being played. But for our dudes, there you go. Looking good. I don't want you to look like you have makeup on. I just want people to see how awesome you already are. All right. Thanks, guys. Love you. And I'm always here for help and questions. Seriously, never feel bad about asking. All right? It's my favorite part of this job. Thanks.